No matter how you feel about immigration in the U.S., as educators we can agree on one point. Schools should be a safe place for students to learn and grow. Today we'll share facts and dispute myths on immigration in the U.S., define DACA and the current status of this program, describe the challenges our immigrant students face, and share CTA and NEA resources to help our students. Let's start with defining terms. When supporting immigrant youth, we want to use inclusive language. For example, illegal aliens is a term that dehumanizes immigrants. No human is illegal or an alien. Instead, the preferred term is undocumented immigrant, which refers to a person's legal and resident status and not their humanity. Another term we will use is documented immigrants. This term refers to individuals who are part of the Deferred Action on Childhood Arrivals program. When listening to the news media, it's very easy to assume that undocumented immigration is a Mexican issue or a Latino issue. While over half of the estimated 11 to 12 million undocumented people in this country are from Mexico, this map shows that undocumented immigrants come from across the globe. Another myth is that undocumented immigrants sneak into the country. While nearly 60% of the undocumented do enter the country without proper authorization, the other 40% are individuals who enter the country legally but overstayed their visas. Here are more statistics about undocumented immigrants in the U.S. Of the estimated 12 million, almost 2 million are under the age of 18. These are our students. Look at the numbers after that. Of the 1.8 million undocumented students in the U.S., only 65,000 actually graduate from high school, and only 13,000 enroll in college. Take a moment to think about these numbers and their impact on undocumented students and their future. In California, the statistics tell a similar story. There are an estimated 250,000 undocumented students between the ages of 3 and 17 enrolled in California public schools. That's 1 in 13 students. Additionally, 750,000 Californian students have an undocumented parent. That's 1 in 8 students. Take a moment to think about these students and the stress they and their families deal with on a daily basis. Now let's talk about DACA. DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It was an executive order signed by President Obama in 2012 in response to over a decade of failed efforts to pass legislation to protect young people who were brought to the U.S. as minors. Currently, DACA is still in place, but with some restrictions. California is home to approximately 240,000 DACA recipients. Studies show that we have about 5,000 DACA-minute educators working in our public schools. These are our colleagues and fellow CTA members. Think about this. DACA only protects a small segment of childhood arrivals. Those of you who teach or work in elementary school have undocumented students who are not eligible for DACA because they entered the U.S. after 2007. Older childhood arrivals who were over 30 at the time the policy was enacted are also not eligible for DACA. The point is this: any legislation to assist dreamers should also address these individuals. While the DACA program makes its way through the courts, Congress is still trying to pass a DREAM Act. Currently, talks on immigration reform have been tied to the financing of a border wall. Please contact Congress and urge them to pass fair and equitable immigration reform. Anti-immigrant activity continues to threaten the rights of immigrant students to attend school. Many immigrant families are afraid to send their children to school, and rightfully so. A recent investigation by public interest law groups found that some 75 school districts were inquiring about a student's immigration status as part of their enrollment process. Anti-immigrant sentiment and increased ICE enforcement activity continues to threaten the rights of immigrant students to attend starting immigration status, requiring the adoption of model policies to prevent immigration enforcement on school grounds, and prohibiting discrimination, harassment, and bullying on the basis of immigration status. So what can you as an educator do to support immigrant students and their families?